We are 3 weeks away from the grand opening of Barracuda Strike at SeaWorld San Antonio, and this is going to be a 3-day update. My God, the music is blaring behind me, but here's a reveal. And they have even more structures constructed right there at the tail end of the ride. It's actually towards the middle of the ride now. They have put so many more pieces of this theming that might represent a coral reef around the track. Some of these pieces are 15 to 20 feet tall. We got some genie lifts there helping out. And we have some other pieces of equipment there. I'm gonna get a little bit closer. Let's go before it rains. You know what time it is. It's time to get my 11th visit out of 15. They got a character guarding the entrance. It is Saturday, February 14th. So happy belated Valentine's Day to everyone watching and celebrating out there. We have active construction going on towards the lake's edge right now. I see 4 or 5 workers. They're doing something with the footers, and it looks to me like we might be a week, maybe 2 weeks away from the water level rising back up to its normal height. You can see all around here where that height is, where this dark area is right up against the green wall. That's how high the water will rise, and it's gonna come up all the way to the top of these footers that look like they're extended further into the water, but there's no water yet. And just look at all of this. I mean, this second half of the ride is gonna be crazy. The first half doesn't do anything with this theming, but after it makes this turn and it swoops back down into that main area, oh my God, it basically disappears through this steel structure forest. Let's get even closer. I hear construction going on right over this fence.
Bruh.
And I don't know why. I saw some dirt being kicked up in the air, but I guess it wasn't this bobcat. It must be happening further down there. Or I'm just hearing things. Here are those 2 things that I mentioned from filming way over there. These 2 little tracked vehicles that you stand on the left side, and then there's a bucket that can fill with dirt on the right side. 2 genie lifts are inside of the fence line. We have a worker working on the fence right here, but there is a massive pole sticking up on this end. I guess there's gonna be an alternate fence line coming like this way instead of that way. Holy crap, this is mesmerizing. Yeah, there's a lot more of this stuff set up now. Before, it was just these 2 and that one right there behind it, and then going this way, a couple more. But now we have an additional 4 or 5 pieces. So you're gonna swoop down right here behind the tree, right down in there, and kind of disappear and then pop up into that crazy overbank turn. Then you're gonna come back and have these pieces immediately to your right, curve up right here, and then go back down through, I don't know, 6, 7 more pieces. Whew. Now I'm looking through that window that just got put up in the fence line right over here. Yeah, these structures are super tall. These ones towards the end of the ride are not the tallest, but these ones right here into that overbank turn, those are some of the tallest ones. They look so cool. Again, here's a little bit of the concept art. It shows that they are brightly painted, more like a coral reef. So I'm assuming that that's what's coming, but honestly, I like it. The way it looks right now, it looks like the dirt solidified into, I don't know, some crazy spiky mountain straight out of Hercules. You remember that scene where the monsters are all going the wrong way and Hades is like, it's that way. And then they go back and there's like this storm circling above a mountain. Yeah, well, this is what that reminds me of. Does anyone see what's missing here? There is no more window into this construction area. It's gone. Oh, wow, look at the pathway. They have dug up a whole bunch more concrete. And we have an even better idea of what the entry, exit, and quick queue entrance will look like. They have something being built over there that has the number 4 spray painted on it. 4 foot is what it says. And we have some designs on the wood structure that was painted 1 or 2 weeks ago. They have green ivy looking stuff, kind of reminiscent of Siren's Curse. How cool is that? I can't see too far into the station right now, but they have some stuff under wraps. That could be because the weather isn't so great right now and it might rain, but they are working away diligently. They have the fence now set up behind this excavator, this Casey, Again, there's no sign of Ralph, but they also have some fence up along the base of the lift hill. So maybe that's not going to be enclosed very much. They're just gonna have a fence that's kind of like a chain link fence. But anyway, guys, I gotta run. So see y'all for day 2. It is now day 2 of your Barracuda Strike update. I gotta check in again for visit number 12. And there might be a special guest appearance in this video today for the first time ever. Who could it be? It is a much busier day today than yesterday, and that's partly because the weather is beautiful. There's not a cloud in the sky. And I think the rain drove a lot of people away yesterday. And unfortunately, the crowds are big at the guest services check-in area because that took way too long, and I don't have a lot of time to actually film an update today, but I gotta go meet someone before I leave. Hello. Well, here we are again. Same spot as last time. Is this new concrete work? It could be, but maybe it's not. I don't know. That looks pretty dope though. Anyway, yeah, I met Darius and I met Rainey as well. She goes to Cedar Point a lot. That's her home park. But Darius is here in the San Antonio area a lot. So that's really awesome to know. I'm sure I'll keep up with him. I might meet people from, say, Collywood Studios or Coaster Force at some point. I'm really looking forward to that. But we are all looking forward to Barracuda Strike opening, and of course, Tormenta later this year, and whatever comes in the future to Fiesta Texas and San Antonio. There is a ton of activity going on in the station today. Man, this view just keeps getting crazier and crazier. Not only is there more paint on those wooden poles with some greenery, again, it looks like Siren's Curse, but they have some electrical work being run down the side there. That might be a light switch. I'm not really sure what else it could be, but they have some genie lifts now hooking up more of the electrical components there above the track. Really hard to see. There's a blue scissor lift, I should say. It's a scissor lift. And then they have painted the outside wood structure here with all the jagged edges on top. That looks really beautiful. Well, the Steel Eel picture taker area, lockers, is getting revamped. It looks like we might have on-ride photos coming off of Barracuda Strike on this path right here. And speaking of the path, they poured that concrete and it looks beautiful now. It looks like a mini putt course or go-kart track. It looks so smooth and fun. I just want to race on it. Anyway, yeah, that looks like the exit path right there. And then right here is the entrance. So perhaps this is going to be the entrance, but the entrance could be over there where that other windows in the fence were. But the exit, definitely right here. That is so cool. Anyway, guys, I gotta run, so I will be back tomorrow. Well, now it is day 3 of your Barracuda Strike update. The lines today, you can see, are much shorter. Here's what the line looked like yesterday on Sunday. Very long line for Beach Rescue Racer, but today is Monday. It is a holiday, so normally people would not be here, but it is President's Day, so the park is actually open, and I needed it to be because I can get my 13th visit for the Barracuda Strike preview event, which leaves me with only 2 days to go till I hit 15, and there are only 2 more operating days until this whole thing ends to get visits, so I'm making it just in time with 0 days to spare. Let's go check in. That was much faster than yesterday. That took a whopping 2 minutes. Yesterday it was about 20-25 minutes. It looks like there's a new hire tour going on. It's a lot of ambassadors. Taking a look at the fence line down there, we can see these genie lifts look to still be in a bit of a ride restricted area. So I don't expect to see any testing. It's a bummer. I really want to see this thing test. And even though it is a holiday, I have seen at least one construction worker, although they're not doing much over here. I'm gonna go over to the station now. Well, they have another temporary fence put up in here, this chain link fence directly in front of me, but I see other pieces of the more permanent black fence that have not been installed yet. They're just lying on the ground, hard to see right here, but they have more posts for them all the way down here. They go all the way down, past that tree, and then towards the lake. So this should be enclosed very, very soon. They just got to make sure they leave enough room for the genie lifts to get out of there. I don't know if they're going to drive up through here and try to work through these posts. It doesn't look like there's enough room, to be honest. Or they're going to have to drive them out further back behind the outdoor bar. There's not too much different between yesterday and today over here, but the paint looks amazing, and it looks like more cables are being ran through the roof or ceiling of the station. And I think a lot of that is the lighting. And I'm gonna show you guys over here that there is a sign now that says Barracuda Strike entrance. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, straight ahead, a very nice orange and blue Barracuda Strike entrance sign. And further back there, I can see that some signage has been installed in the station. Can't tell what one on the right says, but there's one on the left that shows, I believe, the proper riding position. Though a classic one that tells you sit up straight and don't put your arms and legs all the way forward. Like, don't stick them straight out, keep them down. And there's all that wiring again. Don't know exactly what that is, but I believe it's for lights. And you can see a couple of lights hanging there. They have some plastic wrapping them. And actually, those could be speakers. Not sure. Lights or speakers, but this ride is definitely gonna have both of those. So as we look around the pathways, we see there's one that's leading right here and to where this fence is. That is gonna come right here, I think. Out here, unless they take this away and make you walk on a different pathway. And there are the pathways, zigzagging all the way there. So when you come in here, you can go to the left or the right. I don't know what's to the left, but we're gonna go over to where this construction is actively happening. Yeah, here's that pathway that was already here. And it looks like it's gonna go right under this part, unless it's not a pathway at all. But yeah, no, that is definitely a pathway. That is so cool. We're gonna get so close to this right here. This is gonna be a little loud, but they are jackhammering away. This is going to be a new pathway right here. They got a post right here. Interesting. Yep, there they go. Those orange spots that were on the ground, this fence is now enclosing them in, so I can't get to them. They are digging on them. They are jackhammering on those orange markers right now. There's definitely steel eel activity back here. But look back there, there's a bunch of stuff for Barracuda Strike. Can't really make out what it is though. Yeah, not any better up here. A lot of that stuff has been there before, a lot of extra resources. They have a lot of trucks over here and a big shipping container right there. Interesting. Well, everyone, the time has come to talk about Velocicoaster, so you're gonna see that on Friday at 10 a.m. I am changing the upload schedule on this channel to 10 a.m. now. Don't worry, you're still gonna see the same amount of stuff. Six Flags Fiesta Texas every Monday, Barracuda Strike every Wednesday until it opens, and then that's when the schedule is gonna change. But if you learned nothing in this video, just remember these three things. No good deed goes unpunished. Subscribe to me on YouTube, because we're about to hit 90,000 subscribers. And when you're feeling stuck in life, like our friends at Bollinger and Mabillard always say, push down, pull up. That was another day in the Hennisphere.